When it comes to shooting on location, a lot of times we have to think about three things as videographers and photographers, and those three things are aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. Aperture is basically how wide of an opening your lens actually has. So at an f2.8 to f4, you get more light in, and you also have a shallower depth of field, meaning that there's less of the background is actually in focus, and you get that nice blurry background, less of a shallow depth of field. And when you bring the apertures to like f16 to f22, it allows you to have even more of the scene in focus, just because the aperture is a lot narrower and there's a lot less light coming in. Sometimes it becomes difficult when you're shooting at a 1.4. There's a very shallow depth of field, and the range of what's actually in focus is so small, so like you're constantly having to pull focus, and then that requires a lot of manpower. Just like any creative field, it's important to just try things and just play around with what your settings are. Just like try different apertures, different shutter speeds, and see how they work together to create an image, because a lot of times you learn the most just by doing it and practicing.